And they have the audacity to want to lie to the world.
It's in the middle of nowhere. They were beating us every time we stopped singing.
It was almost the perfect hatchet job. They nearly got away with their well-choreographed story. However, a hot dog, chicken and chips is what sold them out. Now Joanna Mamombe, Cecilia Chimbiri and Netsai Marova regret how a stopover at a fast food shop exposed their deception. Wednesday, May 13th, 2020, seemed just like any other day under Zimbabwe's COVID-19 lockdown. Most businesses in the capital Harare were open after weeks of tight regulations to control the disease, and citizens were slowly finding their feet under a new normal. Suddenly, shocking news shook the country that afternoon. 3 opposition MDC Alliance youth leaders had reportedly been arrested for demonstrating against the Zimbabwe government. Moments later, more news suggested the 3, Cecilia Chimbiri, Joanna Mamombe and Netsai Marova, had been abducted. The MDC Alliance seemed livid. Its leadership laid the blame squarely on government and vented apparent anger through social media. As dusk approached, the mystery deepened. There was absolutely no sign of the 3 young women. Their mobile phones remained unreachable. No one seemed to know their whereabouts. Where were they? Could something terrible have happened to them? And was the Zimbabwe government really behind their disappearance as the opposition alleged? These questions continued to linger well after nightfall, but no one seemed to have answers. Day 2, still no sign of Cecilia, Joanna and Netsai in the morning. Some MDC Alliance activists continued to blame authorities in Zimbabwe, and a few foreign agencies appeared to believe them. The Zimbabwe Republic Police shot back, saying the 3 were neither arrested nor in their custody. Afternoon came and there was no word from the 3 young women. Police investigators were on the case, combing different places for leads. In the meantime, the MDC Alliance still pointed to abduction. But there was to be a twist in the evening. Cecilia, Joanna and Netsai were found in the Muchapondwa area of Mashonaland Central Province. They alleged that some police officers and 2 men abducted them at around 3 p.m. on May 13th. They also claimed to have been sexually abused and assaulted for demonstrating against the government. Soon, images of the 3 women in torn, dirty clothes and their hospitalization flooded the media. Their stories stoked emotions and appeared true. However, a few days later, investigators unearthed vital evidence to prove that the whole story was nothing but a hoax. Investigators started by interviewing residents and business owners in Warren Park suburb, the scene of the demonstration and where Cecilia, Joanna and Netsai were last seen. No meaningful leads were established. After days on the lookout, there was finally a breakthrough in the investigation. Detective Charles Makura's team decided to trace the women's movements using cellular phone tracking technology. The technology determines the geographic location of a particular user in real time. It has been used to solve crime globally, and the telecommunications experts validate its accuracy. In official statements, the 3 claimed to have been arrested at a police roadblock along Samora Machel Avenue while on their way into the central business district after buying groceries at Marimba Shopping Center. However, the cellular tracking technology, CCTV footage and photographs show evidence to the contrary. It was established that the 3 women were at the demonstration in Warren Park and not at Marimba Shopping Center as they claimed. Combining this technology and CCTV footage, investigators established the exact route that the young politicians took after the demo. According to data gathered, they used Westwood Road, which separates Westwood and Kambuzuma suburbs. Their vehicle, driven by Joanna, turned left into Kambuzuma Road and headed towards the Workington industrial area. The women were eventually on Coventry Road and then onto Rotten Row Avenue. Data shows that they drove to Fidelity Life Towers on Raleigh Street. Fidelity Life Towers houses the Counseling Services Unit, which is owned by the Zimbabwe Doctors for Human Rights, a critic of the Zimbabwe government. CCTV footage from nearby buildings shows their silver Mercedes-Benz vehicle, registration number AFE 9222, outside Fidelity Life Towers at 13:43 hours. From Fidelity Life Towers, Joanna, Cecilia and Nitsai's movements were detected in the copy area. Cecilia noticed her uncle drive past their vehicle and called him on his mobile phone immediately. The Mercedes-Benz then made a U-turn and they met the uncle at the corner of Coventry and Rotten Row roads. The uncle later confirmed to investigators that he met Cecilia and company at around 13:55 hours. Afterwards, the three headed to Old Mutual Building along 3rd Street in the Central Business District. Their vehicle is captured on CCTV cameras just after 1400 hours. Curiously, MDC Alliance leader Nelson Chamisa has an office in the Advocates' Chambers at Old Mutual Building. After their 3rd Street stopover, the tracking technology places them at the corner of Baines Avenue and 6th Street. Moments later, they were on Golden Stairs Road in the Ashbrittle area before making a U-turn and heading to Belgravia suburb. At 14:55 hours, Joanna told her lawyer Jeremiah Bamu via WhatsApp text that she had been arrested. Bamu responds promptly asking whether she was at the Harare Central Police Station's Law and Order Department. There was no reply from Joanna. Nearly an hour later, Bamu asks, "How many are you?" And again, Joanna did not reply. At 16:24, he communicated that he was failing to locate Joanna and her colleagues. At 17:34, Bamu sent his final text to Joanna, stating his intention to file a missing persons report. He later shared the messages with investigators. CCTV footage from 5 cameras shows the trio arriving at Belgravia Shopping Centre at 16:45 and parking outside a food court. The vehicle registration number AFE 9222 appears clearly in the footage. Soon after, Cecilia, who was in the back seat, and Nitsai, the front seat passenger, are seen disembarking, presumably to order food, but seemingly sensing that they might be noticed, the two quickly jump back into the vehicle. The footage shows Cecilia still wearing the same clothes that she wore for the demonstration earlier that day. Her brown floppy hat matches the one in photographs taken as she protested along Joanna, Nitsai and other MDC Alliance youth members. The black leggings and black mini dress she wore in Warren Park also match those in the Belgravia CCTV footage. A fast food shop manager who served the three from their vehicle told investigators that she was attracted to the headband of the passenger in the front seat. This suggests Nitsai was the one in the front seat, as the headband the manager described matches the beaded headgear she wore for the demonstration. In her statement to detectives, Nitsai herself mentions that she was in the front seat of the Mercedes-Benz on the day. She says, "Joanna Mamombe was driving her silver Mercedes-Benz and I occupied the front passenger seat." The fast food shop manager told investigators that the three women did not explain why they wanted to order food from their vehicle. The manager's statement reads in part, "At 16:52 hours, I was alerted that there were clients who wanted to purchase some food. One lady, who was in the front passenger seat, greeted me and asked if she could give me a food order. I inquired as to why they were not alighting so that they could buy their food. The lady who gave the food order said, 'Pakaipa,' meaning that there is something wrong." The women ordered a hot dog, 4 chicken wings, 2 other portions of chicken, French fries and drinks. Nitsai tendered $10 and the manager took roughly 10 minutes to process the order and deliver it. Their vehicle pulled out almost immediately afterwards. The Mercedes-Benz was later found parked opposite the entrance of Harare Central Police Station on May 16, with no occupants. A manager at a nearby food chain group told investigators that the vehicle was not there on May 13, 14 and 15. So, who could have parked it, and why several days later? The manager said, "I park opposite the entrance of the police station every day and therefore vividly remember finding a silver Mercedes-Benz in my parking space when I turned up for work on May 16. Armed with this evidence, investigators disproved the three women's claims of abduction. Critically, they established 8 facts. 1. Cecilia, Joanna and Nitsai lied that they did not participate in the demonstration in Warren Park. 2. They also lied they were at Marimba Shopping Centre at the time protesters were marching in Warren Park. 24-hour surveillance footage at Marimba does not show them either arriving, shopping or leaving. 3. The three changed their claims regarding their alleged arrest. Initially, they claimed to have been arrested at the National Sports Stadium, but later alleged to have been arrested at a police roadblock near the Harare Exhibition Park, commonly known as Showgrounds. 4. They never used Samora Machel Avenue at the time in question. CCTV footage from businesses along the section of road of interest does not show them or their vehicle. 5. The three claim to have been arrested between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. However, data from cellular tracking technology shows they were elsewhere at that particular time. 6. In official statements, they allege assailants drove them to an unknown location between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. However, both CCTV footage and cellular tracking technology place them at Belgravia Shopping Center at 4:45 p.m. 7. Cecilia's mother hails from Muchapondwa, the same place where the three politicians re-emerged on May 14th. The sheer coincidence was curious. 8. The vehicle was parked opposite Harare Central Police Station on May 16th and not May 13th as the women claim. But to eliminate any doubt, detectives dug up evidence on the three women's internet activity on May 13th, 2020. Web data shows that all three blocked incoming calls on their cell phones but kept the mobile data function operational. Joanna Mamombe was online until after 9 p.m. on the day she was allegedly abducted. An empty cell phone package was later discovered in their vehicle, suggesting that they used that new phone for their web activity. Investigators also came across the three women's regular cell phones in the Mercedes-Benz, but the new phone was nowhere to be found. Their original handsets were found under a bag in the footwell behind the driver's seat. Empty fast food packaging was also discovered in the vehicle. As detectives searched for more clues, the MDC Alliance continued with its abduction allegation.
Kusanganisira kuyamwa minyatso yawo, kusanganisira kukandwa futi, kuburikidza nekwanozvibatsira nako, kusanganisira kuzvindikitwa usiku hwese, pasi petsoka nekumakumbo, vachichekwa nereza kumusana, vamwe vatogoni kana kurara.
Reports by doctors who examined them in hospital show no evidence of physical abuse. All three did not have bruises, despite claiming that their alleged abductors pushed them out of a moving vehicle. Netsai in particular alleges that either a broken bottle or razor blade was used to cut her on the back, but photographs taken by medical examiners do not show any cuts or bruises on her back. Cecilia also claimed their alleged captors sodomized her using a rifle. However, medical records again show evidence to the contrary. Her anal passage was intact, suggesting there was no molestation. The anal passage starts at the bottom of the rectum, which is the last portion of the large intestine. The opening of the passage, known as the anus, is 2 to 3 inches long and has 2 sphincter muscles. And rifles come in various shapes and sizes, and the type commonly used by military or paramilitary operators globally is the AK-47. Its front end comprises an iron sight post, a muzzle brake, and barrel. If an AK-47 rifle were violently thrust into one's anal passage, the muzzle brake would ordinarily have torn perianal tissue. The iron sight post would have followed through with more damage given its size of 2 centimeters. In addition, both internal and external sphincters would have been torn extensively, causing the victim tremendous pain and inability to walk or sit properly for days.
It is critical to note that the tests and examination of the three young women was done in the presence of independent doctors. What is more critical is the outcome of that examination. 1, it was established from the reports that we got from the doctors that these women were not bruised in any way. It was also established that they did not have any signs of physical harm on their bodies.
This documentary was produced without prejudice to the law, but only aims to set the record straight. Several questions remain. For what particular reason would the Zimbabwe government target Cecilia, Joanna, and Netsai? Do the three really threaten the bigger scheme of things in Zimbabwe? And who stands to benefit from their abduction allegations, which have attracted apparent condemnation and vilification of authorities in Zimbabwe by foreign embassies and agencies? This was all for the international community to vilify Zimbabwe.